we're going to make some pies here this morning. I'm trying to get used to this whole new thing here. And I've got light behind me. Hopefully it's not too much. First, I had a rotisserie chicken, so I've shredded my chicken. I had a breast and 2 legs, and I shredded that. And this morning we have my little helper, Ryder. So Mommy has some little pieces that she shredded just so he will stay busy while we're doing this. And then we're going to make a chicken pot pie. And then we're going to make a cherry pie, my husband's favorite. So that's what we've got on the agenda. And I am cheating. Yes, I'm cheating. I'm using frozen crust that I did thaw out. I'm going to poke a few holes so it doesn't. Hopefully you can see that. Just taking my fork, poking a few holes in my pie crust. And that one cracked, as usual, frozen pies will do. So, anyway, that's what is on the agenda today. And then I have 2 of the frozen pie crust that I'm going to be using for the toppings for my top of my pie. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Get those open. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so we've got the shredded chicken. And then over here, I've got some frozen pie crust that I laid out on a rack. So basically, I'm just going to let those sit there for a minute. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm hoping everything's good. Okay, I'm going to put my rack over here, get that out of the way. And then I'm going to be using for my chicken pot pie, I'm going to be using the shredded chicken breast. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good morning. And this is chicken breast and 2 legs from rotisserie chicken. Now I'm going to be adding, for my stuffing, for my chicken pie, pot pie, I'm going to be adding 1 can of cream of chicken. You can use any brand. And 1 can of drained mixed vegetables. So I'm going to go ahead and get those open. And I'm so old-fashioned, I still use the old crank can opener. And I have my puppy, my Maltese puppy here, who's helping me. He's only 6 months old. So if you hear some yapping, that's him trying to get my attention. And I did take some shredded chicken out and put it in a bowl for him, just in case we need to keep him occupied. He is my newest addition. So I'm going to take a few more of these out. This is my Maltese puppy. And his name is Ryder. Hi, good morning. We are baking this morning. I'm going to go ahead and drain my mixed vegetables. Okay, now I'm going to move this back so you can see it. I'm going to add my mixed vegetables to my shredded chicken. And I like to stir it up just a little bit. I might need a little bigger bowl. We'll see. I think we'll be okay. Once we get all this mixed up pretty good, then we will add, let me go through, I think we'll do this one. I think it'll be just fine. Then we'll add our cream of chicken. And it is 1 can of cream of chicken. My husband likes pot pies, but he only likes them. YouTube are the best. Yes, I like YouTube. And I am a paranormal channel. However, I do a lot of baking and I do a lot of different things. So it's my channel, and I thought, well, since it's my channel, I'll just use it the way that I want to. So I do a little bit of everything. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and mix this up really good. Let me go ahead and turn my oven on, get it heating. And I bake these at 350 degrees, and it will take about at least an hour, maybe a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and get this all stirred up. My husband likes a thick middle on his chicken pot pie, so we don't want to add anything other than the cream of chicken soup and the mixed vegetables. Now at this point, if you wanted to, you could add some salt or pepper or anything like that that you want to add. Okay, so I think we're good. I'm going to add just a little bit. And of course, I'm old-fashioned, so I have to add a little bit of seasoning. So I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And there's baby. You want a plate? There you go. You're such a good boy. We got to get him big and strong and healthy. So I'm going to add just a little bit of salt, and I'm using sea salt. And I like the peppercorn. So a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And then I'm going to add maybe just a touch of garlic powder. Just enough to give it a little bit of seasoning in the middle. Then I'm going to stir all that up really good. You don't have to add the garlic powder if you don't want to. My husband loves garlic powder. So I always add just a wee bit. It gives it a little bit of taste. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and see. I want that one for the cherry pie. And then I've got my frozen crust that I've allowed to thaw. And now I'm going to put my filling in. Nice and thick filling. This is so much better than the store-bought pot pie. You want a bite, Bubby? You want a bite? Do you need a bite? Let me get you a bite. And now just kind of smooth it out. Nothing special. I just think everything tastes so much better when it's made homemade. Because you put love into anything that you make homemade, in my opinion. So, okay, there we got a nice filling. So I'll move this over. Get a little bit of water in there so it doesn't dry up on me. Okay, so now we've got a nice pie crust and a nice filling. Very nice, stuffed. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get, and of course I'm cheating, I used frozen pie crust. I didn't feel like making pie crust this morning. And I've got the frozen pie crust in the box. Now what I'm going to do with that, see if I can move this over just a little. Poppy, you want a bite? Come here, bite. Okay. I'll let you see my beautiful little pop down here. Say hi. That is my beautiful little boy. Say, I'm Mommy's helper. Wash my hands again. And we are remodeling, so I've got part of my kitchen done and part not done. And we held off till after the holidays. We're over to doing any more of the kitchen remodeling. So I did get my island in. And I did get my real nice sink, my nice range, and new dishwasher in. But we held off on taking the cabinets and the counter out till after the holidays. So half of my kitchen is remodeled and half is not. But it all works out just fine. All I need is a little bit of space. Okay, I'm going to turn this over here where you can see what I'm doing. And this is just the pie crust from the box. And I got me a piece of wax paper to keep it basically from sticking to the counter. Then I'm going to take my towel and kind of wipe off any flour there that's on that. Okay. Now I'm going to take my pie. Of course, this is simple and easy because I'm cheating this morning. Try and get it centered here where you can see it. Ryder, you need a bite. Bite. Come here. Bite. You're such a good boy. Mommy's just going to drop it for you. There we go. Okay. Alright, now what I do is I just kind of lay this over. And then I'm just going to take this and just kind of finger pinch all the way around. You can see there what I'm doing. I'm just using my finger, my thumb. And I just want to get some kind of a nice little pinch to it, enough to make it seal nice. Nothing fancy at all. Just a plain old homemade chicken pot pie. Hope I'm not boring you too much. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just enough to where you're basically sealing your two pie crusts together. So when you bake it, they kind of seal together, stick together. I'll hold it up here for you if I need to. So I just kind of go around it and just kind of pinch everything together. Because my bottom crust is thawed out enough that I can kind of work with it. And then of course, this is about what you're going to have. Nothing special. Just the plain and simple. And then you're going to have extra dough. So I just take a knife. And I just bring it up. And then I just kind of take the knife right around. And just trim off any of that extra. Again, I'm not going for perfection. I'm going for delicious. Now, if my grandmother was here, she would say, you did not make your own pie crust. But I think she would approve of the taste once it was made. My grandmother was a Mennonite, and she was an amazing cook. Oh, my goodness. She used to make the most amazing pies and cakes. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, just so this doesn't overflow, is I'm going to put a few little cuts in the top. So I try to get as close to the center as I can. And I just make a few nice cuts. Nothing perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not going for perfect. My oven has preheated. And it just kind of gives it a nice little, nice pretty look. So this would be the chicken pot pie. So we're going to go ahead and put that one to the side. And we're going to get our next frozen crust. And of course, I did take my fork. As you can maybe see there, I poked some holes. And now we're going to do the cherry pie. So we've got our chicken pot pie all put together. And now we're going to make the cherry pie. And again, these were just the frozen crust. I'm cheating. And you can buy any cherry pie filling. Let me give Puppy a bite. There you go. Okay. Dropped him some there on the floor. He's doing so good. And we're just going to put the cherry pie filling in. And my husband loves the basket weave. Now, if it was me, I would probably just do a regular pie topping. But he loves the basket weave. So this takes me just a little bit longer than the other one. Okay, let's set that aside. Okay, for now, I'm going to move this over. And we're going to get the next thawed out frozen pie crust. And we're going to make a basket weave. My husband likes the basket weave for his cherry pies, and this is his cherry pie. And I need to get out a little bit of, let me see, a little bit of granulated sugar. Because I always top this with just a little bit of sugar. Again, we're using the wax paper. Sorry, my phone's ringing. They'll have to call back. I apologize. She'll just have, it's my sister. She'll have to call back. She probably doesn't realize I'm on a line. Sorry about that. I declined it. I don't know why it's not. Anyway, she'll give up here in a minute and I'll call her back. Okay, so we've got our next pie crust. And we just want to make some strips. And I don't really go by any particular one. I just try to, what size do I want my strips to be? So you just cut a line, cut you some strips. It's a perfect morning for baking pies. It's a little bit cool here this morning, just a little bit of frost. And these don't have to be perfect at all. Now there you can see my strips. I'll bring it up a little bit. So they're just randomly cut. Now I'm going to bring my pie over. And then what I'm going to do is I like to start in the middle. So I take the biggest strips from the middle of my pie crust. And I'm going to kind of find the area where I want it. And I'm going to lay it down into the pie. So I try to get my center where I want my center. And we're going to make a basket weave, just like weaving a basket. And then on my ends, of course, I'm going to go farther out on my pieces of pie, my pie crust that I got cut in strips. Take a little piece of that corner off. And then you can kind of adjust this wherever you want your weave. You can kind of ease it over. Okay, and then I'm going to put just a little edge right here. I'm going to use this one on the edge. And I'm going to add another one here on the edge. So I need to just move these over just a little bit. This way you can adjust everything where you want it. It's pretty plain and simple. Nothing hard about it at all. That way you can pretty well see what you're going to have. Now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of push these down in. Get them a little secure on the edges. And I'm going to add just a little bit more right in here. So that's what's good about having some extra filling, some extra pie strips. I'm just going to add just a little bit right in there. What are you doing, bud? Mommy hears you. You playing? You want a bite? Come here. You want a bite? So anyway, that's what I'm going to do, is just kind of fill it in a little. This is not perfect. This is just something quick and simple. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some more weave across like a basket. Starting to look a little bit like a basket. And I'm going to push these down a little bit so they'll stay in place. And then I'm going to go back here to this extra dough that I had where I cut off the last one. And I'm going to make me some edges right there on the edge, so that'll kind of blend in together. Just enough to keep it from separating. What you doing, bud? You want a bite? Come here and get a bite. Come get a bite of snack. Come on. Want me a snack? Okay. Let me give Puppy a bite here. So he's young and he's just curious. I think I'm going to add one more strip. I think I got enough for one more strip, so I'm going to kind of ease these over a little bit. And I'm just going to put this strip right in here. No, I don't like the looks of that, so we're just going to back that one off. I'm going to pinch off my extra there. Got a little bit of extra. I'm just going to try and blend this in here on the edges. And remember, it's dough, so you can play with it. You can shape it, form it, move it, until you get about what you're wanting. And like I said, we're not going for perfection. We're going for delicious. And this is my first pie making with little one not taking a nap. And little one is my Maltese puppy. Let me see if Mommy can't give you. What did I do with it? I don't want that knife. Here we go. Let me give you a bite with the fork. I'll just drop it with the fork. There we go. Okay. We've just about got it though. See, Mommy's learning all over again. We lost my Maltese. He was 13 years old. We lost him in June. And it was heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. And so we decided to open our home up to a new baby. And I'm glad we did. He's just amazing. He's 6 months old, Maltese. And our Maltese we lost. When he passed away, my heart broke. My home was so empty. Hopefully I'm not boring you to death. Okay, we're trying to blend all this in now. And you'll see me kind of shift it around and blend it. And it's dough, so you can, it's very giving. And I'm just trying to blend my two crusts together. My bottom crust and my top crust. Just enough to keep them from separating. And I'm pinching off a little bit of the extra that I've got. Okay. It's looking very good. All right. I think that's about good enough. We're going to take off some edge here. Anything that's extra hanging over. And again, this is not perfection. This is just, I'm bored. Move all that dough out of my way. And then I'm going to kind of give these a little bit more pinch on the ends. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of granulated sugar to the top of this, just to give it a nice look when it's baked. And I don't have anything special here. It's just what I do. I'll give it a little extra pinches there on the ends. Just enough to kind of give it a nice look. Again, it's nothing more than just for looks. And to keep it from separating. Keep your top and your bottom crust together a little better. And then I kind of go around with my hand and just kind of smooth out anything that's sticking out. Okay, and this is what the basket weave is looking like now. And then I'm just going to take a spoon and just some regular granulated sugar. Trying to make sure I don't have any lumps in there. And then what I do is I just kind of go over and sprinkle it. And the crust is loose enough that I can kind of move it around where I want it. Just enough to give it a nice touch. Okay, and that's good enough. And that is what you got before you put it in. You can see the granulated sugar, just enough to give it a nice little touch. And the oven is ready, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my exhaust on. And I have these, whoops, hold on just a minute. I have these on a cookie sheet. And I put a piece of aluminum foil on there just to basically keep it from over baking. I don't want the bottom to be burnt. So this is my chicken pot pie. This is my cherry basket weave. And we're going to go ahead now and put these in the oven. And it'll take about an hour at 350 degrees. Okay, let me pull it back up. I hope I wasn't too boring. Oops. And it looks like Puppy's going to need to go out. See if I can get him to come back in for just a minute. Ryder, come here, buddy. You want a treat? Look what Mommy's got. What's Mommy got? Let's give you some shredded chicken. Give him all of this shredded chicken. And I'm going to go ahead and put this back down a little bit. Here's his little container of shredded chicken. So he gets a snack while Mommy's baking. So I hope that wasn't too boring. But that gave me something to do this morning while it was nice and cool out this morning. And I want to thank you for stopping in and being patient. And you see how easy it is to just get some frozen crust and a few ingredients and make you a homemade pie. So hopefully you'll be doing that soon. And again, all I had in my chicken pot pie was the I had a rotisserie chicken, and I had used one breast and 2 legs, and I shredded it. And then I opened a can of cream of chicken soup. Any brand will do. Doesn't have to be any particular brand. Just use the one of your choosing. Your body. Give him the rest of that. He's such a good boy. So we're learning together, huh? It's been a long time since I had a baby, a puppy in the house. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. But like I said, in the chicken pot pie, I cheated. I had 2 frozen pie crust in the pan, and then 2 frozen pie crust in the box. And we took 1 can of mixed vegetables, 1 can of cream of chicken soup. I shredded 1 breast and 2 legs of the rotisserie chicken, put it in the bowl, added the mixed vegetables, stirred it up good, added the cream of chicken, and then stirred it up good, added a little bit of salt and pepper and just a little bit of garlic powder, put it in my crust, and then I'd had 2 of the frozen pie crust in the box. I used 1 frozen pie crust for the top of the chicken pot pie, and I cut a few little lines in the top, just enough to give it air so when it rises it won't be oozing out everywhere. And then we made the cherry pie, and it had, again, the frozen bottom crust in the pie pan, 1 can of cherry pie filling, and then we took the other frozen pie crust from the box and we cut it into strips and made a basket weave for the top of the cherry pie, and then we topped it off with just a little bit of granulated sugar. And now it is in the oven, and we're waiting for it to bake, and it'll be about an hour. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for stopping in, and when they get done, maybe I can come back on and do a short live and show you the end result. Again, thank you for being here, and overlook the hair, had to do the granny do, we're baking, gotta get the hair up. But anyway, thank you for stopping in. Enjoy your morning. It's easy to make a homemade pie, and in my opinion, it's they always taste better because you put a little love into anything that you make or bake. So, until next time, bye-bye, and we'll stop in maybe a little bit later when the pies come out and show you a short live of the end result. Until next time, enjoy your day and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.